Welcome to our first presentation in a series of 50 on the subject of the Holy Spirit. I am Pardon Mwansa, and I have entitled this first presentation as Try the Holy Spirit. Try the Holy Spirit. And maybe before I go into further words about today's presentation, let me mention this. In my worship of God, in my ministry as a minister of God, and in my general study on missions, I have come to the conclusion that the only power that will move this world when it comes to impacting the world for God, the only power that will do that is the Holy Spirit uniting or working through human agents. I'm such a strong believer in this that I have decided to make 50 presentations on the same topic, the Holy Spirit, but I will be breaking it in pieces, until we get to presentation number 50. So today's presentation is entitled, Try the Holy Spirit. In 2011, I served at the headquarters of the General Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in the capacity of a General Vice President. General Vice Presidents are Vice Presidents who work together with the President to give direction and guidance to the church. We were 8 of us. I remember in October when we had our annual council meetings that our president at that time, Pastor Ted Wilson, came and shared with us the global challenge that we are faced with in taking the gospel message to the world. I will essentially share what his message was to us, and then I will share the relevance of my title, Try the Holy Spirit. The President shared with us what you see on the screen, which is the map of the world, but segmented in composition of the presence of Christianity or the absence of Christianity in certain places. When you look at this global map, you will see in this color, I will call it purple. In this color purple, that's where we have Christianity as a dominant religion. You will notice that the Americas, that is North America, Inter-America, and South America, are predominantly Christian territories. You will notice the same for Eastern and Southern Africa when you look at the map of Africa. But when you go up above Africa into North Africa, you will notice that the dominant religion there is Islam. You will notice that the spread of Islam goes into the Arab world, which I would call the Arab world, which covers this whole territory, Israel, Iraq, Lebanon, Jordan, just the whole of this territory here is predominantly Islam. And then when you go to this territory that has this color here, that's where we have Buddhism. And then you will find a little bit of a color here in Judaism. Just a tiny little drop of Judaism right here. When the president shared with us this picture, my mind really was troubled. Troubled at the fact that 2010 represented about approximately 2,000 years of trying to propagate Christianity around the globe. And I wondered if there was anything that Christianity could still do that it has not done in the past 2,000 years. When he shared this picture, he then shared the following picture, which picture gave further illustration to the first one, but this one included now figures. In this picture, you will notice that the world population in 2023 is at 7.9 billion population of people. You will notice that 2.4 billion of those 7.9 are Christians. But that leaves a figure of almost 5.5 billion non-Christian. You will see 2 billion is attributed to Islam, and non-religious, 1.2 billion. Hinduism, 1.2 billion. Buddhism, 500 million. And then folk religions and the rest. As I looked at this picture, and as we discussed as global leaders at that time, I asked myself a big question. Is there enough gas? Is there enough energy left in Christianity to move from 2.4 billion and make more Christians to join the Christian faith? I must admit that I was very troubled by this picture. Very, very troubled. So troubled that I raised my hand when the president said to us, "Gentlemen, this is the picture we have, and we have a message to take to the world." I raised my hand, and I remember when I raised my hand saying these words to the president and to the group that was there. I raised my hand and I said, "Elder Wilson, maybe we need to try the Holy Spirit." I actually went a step further and said, maybe we as a Seventh-day Adventist church need to restudy the doctrine of the Holy Spirit. Obviously, because I had deeply thought about the situation and was deeply troubled. And when I gave this proposal, let's try the Holy Spirit, by restudying the doctrine of the Holy Spirit and seeing if there is something we can get if we did that. And I quoted the verse that's cited here, and ye shall receive power when the Holy Spirit has come upon you. And then I quickly made mention and said, in the New Testament, when Jesus was about to leave his disciples, he told them to wait for the power of the Holy Spirit. Then I said to them, he said to them, all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore, go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. And surely I am with you always to the very end of the age. And so I remember sharing and believing in my heart, the same Jesus who sent the apostles is the same Jesus who promised that he will be with his people always to the very end of the age. And my question was, has he lost power? Has the church lost the power that it had? When I read in Acts chapter 2, verse 41, when Simon Peter had just delivered his first sermon, the Bible concludes that those who accepted his message were baptized, and about 3,000 were added to their number that day. Later in chapter 4 and chapter 5, it mentions of the church growing to 5,000 people in one day. It speaks of people surrendering to the power of God. And this is what troubled me. What troubled me was religion today has been reduced to statements of propositional truths. Religion is a debate of who's right, who's wrong, what is right, what is wrong, what do you believe, what don't you believe. But the religion that I see in the New Testament, in the book of Acts, is a religion of power. A religion of power, a religion of the Holy Spirit taking over human agents and going to touch the hearts of those who needed to hear the gospel message. And so I said to my president, let's try the Holy Spirit. The meeting ended, and obviously my contribution was just one among many. I have decided to follow up on that suggestion I made in that meeting. Try the Holy Spirit. As I conclude this brief introductory first presentation in a series of 50, which I have entitled, Try the Holy Spirit, may I register that I wholeheartedly believe that if the Church of God, the Seventh-day Adventist Church, or any other church would try or dare the power of the Holy Spirit as the one engulfing power, the one driving force in their ministry, I believe wholeheartedly the Holy Spirit is capable of shaking this globe, this earth, the people on this earth. And so I submit and say to you and to me, try the Holy Spirit. I hope you will listen to the following presentations that will be made even after this. May the Lord bless you and be with you. Thank you.